I'm going to talk about some North Carolina uh, news from this past week on the Willie Bragg Show. And so, but first, we're going to have a little bit of music to start everything out. Good morning. I'm Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I hope your day is going well. Let's go and do the music. Alrighty.
Watch the.
Oh, alrighty. Let's do this show. As I just said, welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. And since I'm from North Carolina, what I'm going to discuss today comes very close to home. Even though I am in one part of the state, and this person lives in the opposite half of the state. And who am I referring to? Who am I referring to? I am referring to no other than and let me get the photo here. All right. I'm gonna have to change hardware one of these. Software one of these days. I really am. I am referring to no other than Madison Cawthorn of the 11th Congressional District, Republican Congressman from that district who got elected in 2020. I did a little Wikipedia research on him this morning just to find out some more things about him. I'm not going to go into detail, but he's still a nut job, but apparently he might be the least nutty of the four. Apparently, well, I'll say it. Apparently he favors same-sex marriage. That's his only progressive position. The other three don't. So somebody's got to be a stop clock twice a day. So good for him on that regard. But he's pretty much is terrible on all the other issues. So anyway, Madison Cawthorn was so out of control and so viciously right wing across the board that he had a primary challenge as a result of gerrymandering. And when they gerrymandered that district here in North Carolina, he got primary challenge by Chuck Edwards, who is now the official Republican candidate in the 11th Congressional District. So Madison Cawthorn will no longer be a member of Congress as of early January. He is a one-term member of Congress. And I'm going to say, considering the company that he keeps, the MAGA caucus, as Farron Cousins likes to refer to them. And give me a second here, and we will see. The other three, I like to call them myself. And there are more. There are absolutely more of these folks. But Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, and of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene. These three are the others. And there is, as I said, there's several others in Congress. I mean, and pretty much the Republican Party are all just really out to lunch. I mean, the Democrats are basically Ronald Reagan Republicans from the 1980s who are socially moderate on a few safe social issues. And the modern day Republicans are, they're basically just, they're just headed in. I mean, they're headed toward absolute authoritarianism. But anyhow, the thing about it is that Madison Cawthorn is gone. Tried to go and deprive Marjorie Taylor Greene of running again for re-election, to disqualify her from the ballot, and it is totally justified to have her permanently kicked off of any ballot. I make no apologies about that. And unfortunately, she lives in a very, very safe district. So sad to say, we're going to see a whole lot of Marjorie Taylor Greene around for at least the next several years. But at least I do not think that Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to move beyond her congressional district, because when you're going around and you're saying that the Catholic Church is demonically possessed, or that the Pope is a devil worshiper or something like that, when you're saying shit like that, you're pretty much you alienated a whole lot of conservative allies right there. A lot of pro-lifers who would have been on your side, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You lost a lot of allies right there. So even people who share a lot of the same bigotries and intolerance as you just pretty much spit in their face by calling them devil worshipers. So you're not going to move beyond that congressional district. I'm almost glad you said it, because at the worst case scenario, you're just going to stay where you're at, and hopefully one day you will be defeated, or you will be legally prohibited from running, and you should be legally prohibited from running. Don't know about Matt Gaetz, what his situation is going to be with some of the charges or accusations that's being made, and all that's hearsay. I'm not going to go and bring that out because I don't want I don't want this channel being shut down or this video being shut down. All I'm going to say is that we know what accusations have been hurled at toward Matt Gaetz. As for Lauren Boebert, in her, I believe, her second congressional district in Colorado, when she got elected in 2020, she was in a very, very right-wing district that elected crazies like her. And apparently, just like in North Carolina, that it's got redistricted around, gerrymandered, and apparently she's facing a challenger, a saner challenger. And the Republican district that emerged with is a more moderate district. So we'll see what happens in the primaries, whatever happens in Lauren Boebert's case. So anyway, I just wanted to touch up on that. But, Madison Cawthorn, this is what you get for kind of acting like a big shot. And when people just act so arrogant, especially at your age, hopefully you'll grow, and hopefully you will evolve into a different person, and you'll grow as a person, and hopefully, if you're going to remain a Republican, hopefully you will not be very much in the ideological image of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and that sort. So anyway, all I have to say is that when it comes to politics, I don't wish you harm as far as your personal life, as far as your ambitions. I hope that you have a prosperous life outside of politics, and and a good quality life. I just only wish you political failure. That's it. That's all I wish. Political failure. Yeah, I don't want you to get ahead politically, because the Republican Party's too far right as it is. I don't wish you harm, no physical harm. I don't want you to be financially ruined or anything like that. I don't want you that if you get, if you get any more physically ill than you are, other than being in a wheelchair, I want you to get the medical help you need with as little expenses as possible. And as I said, to live a high quality life. I just don't want you to get ahead politically. That's all. That's all I got to say about that. I just only wish political failure against people that I disagree with on those issues. But if you do support same-sex marriage, then on that one little issue there, good for you, sir. I'm glad there is hope for you, and hopefully you'll evolve, and hopefully there's an inner Nelson Rockefeller Republican in you that could come out, and maybe you could be rehabilitated in a way Barry Goldwater was rehabilitated down the road. Because in the 60s, he was considered a pariah. And then later on, people misunderstood Barry Goldwater. And hopefully it's a misunderstanding with you. Don't think it was that with Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or Matt Gaetz. But anyway, suffice to say, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree with what I have to say, comment anyway. We will have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we're, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, help make this channel grow. And until next time, we have a class struggle to wage. And, we got to work toward peace and, and oppose all war, because that war means more people getting killed, and people getting killed sucks. And we got to preserve civil liberties across the board. And we also got to preserve the First Amendment, which means freedom of speech and freedom of the press, which comes down to what I like to say at the end of every show. And that is that we're all Julian Assange. And this is the cue where I will say, when I say that, I usually will end up by saying, I will end up by saying this. I will end up by saying music.